He hasn't done anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong to her child. There is no reason, rhyme or reason, why she is not seeing her child. And I hope her child sees this. Your mother hasn't done anything wrong. Okay, the child has been kept by the opposing side away from his mother, and that is outrageous to me. I find it outrageous. I would not know, well, I kind of do know what I'd do if I was kept from my children, and I'd probably end up, I would end up in prison.
Yes,
okay?
I know.
And I mean, this is the most outrageous situation that I have ever seen, and it doesn't make any sense. And Connecticut can't get away with it. They can't continue to.
And the other thing too is, in my case, there is suspicion of abuse on the other side. There is documentation of abuse. There is testimony of abuse. There is an attorney and several doctors and a judge that actually testified in my trial, quote unquote, hell, she even came to me for help. Yes, the child came to me on several occasions and told me that he was being hurt and kicked and scared and hit by his father and didn't want to go back. So they testified that this happened, and that they went and substantiated it and went and talked to his teachers, and his teachers substantiated that they were getting the same reports from him of being abused by his father, yet he's living with his father.
Doesn't make any sense.
No,
doesn't make any sense.
What is the reason?
Yeah, we have another case that's going forward. In fact, I'm in court Thursday, and it is. We have a man that hasn't been around for a couple of years. Found out that his ex-wife, who has his first child, is getting remarried. So he reinstituted a thing. He wants to see his child. He has the child. Well, he hasn't been around for 2 years. Hasn't paid any child support. And not only that, he has a new child that he has, as far as I'm concerned, put in extreme situations that I would call abuse. I mean, we have pictures of this baby, this little infant, sleeping in truck tires,
So,
and
no
it's so horrible and everything. And here his mother has to go to court to try and prevent him from seeing his older child. I mean, I turn the pictures over.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't to child services.
Well, you said I know somebody right here in Waterford as well has the same situation in the Norwich court. Her son is 10, and the biological father, there is a father figure in the picture, but the biological father has never been in the picture for 10 years. And about twice a year, he's not even local, comes up here, files in court, in Norwich court, wants to see him, wants to have child support reduced, puts the mother through this whole, your father's coming to help to get the son ready, and not once in 10 years has he shown up or seen him. So why does the court still allow this? It's harming the child. I mean, he's proven.
This is where we really get concerned with best interest of the child. How do you define what the best interest of the child is? Is this bouncing around with people who are not caring for you and haven't done anything in the child's best interest? We don't believe so, and we don't think so. And this is at the crux of the matter, because the court is supposed to be void of whether it's your side or whether it's his side. They're supposed to be focused clearly on what's the best interest of the child. Now, in a situation like yours, I cannot and I do not understand where you always had the child up until a certain point. There was no problem with you. There were no charges against you. You have never done anything wrong to your child. How, in God's name, do they restrict you from seeing your child? It doesn't make any sense at all. Also, you have the other side that really doesn't even have custody, a full custody, right?
No, he doesn't. He never has.
No. So I mean, it doesn't make It doesn't make any sense
There's
to
no
me.
logic
It
to it
doesn't
all.
make any legal sense to me. And then how does a court and a judge, some incompetent judge, write a statement that violates your due process, that you don't have a right to redress this situation? That is fundamentally outrageous and against everything that we believe in our Constitution.
It is.
So I mean, I'm looking at a court in Connecticut that's looking for lawsuits against them. I mean, I don't understand. If I was the Chief Justice and I looked at the situation, and whether you like me or whether you don't, and I saw a way that maybe we could have avoided this, I would have had my administrative people contact us immediately and say, hey, look, let's get on with this. Let's talk about this. Let's go to court and straighten this whole thing out.
That's it.
Why take a situation and let it fester? And especially when you've been warned. I mean, I've explained, and I'm sure that they know that my name's around, that I'm already involved in other cases. And if I had taken, if I was the Chief Justice, I would have gathered those cases together and I would take a look at them. And then if I saw the way those, which the paperwork
Yes.
itself shows what's going on.
It does.
I mean, it's not like you don't have a paper trail.
No.
You have a clear paper
paper
trail of mismanagement, violation of rights, and all these things that are done not in the best interest of the child. Then I would say, hey, let's get these people together. Let's go in there with some reasonable
What
people.
the hell's going on?
Get it straightened out
No.
and straighten out my department.
And when you look at these, and I know I've even been one who's tried to attempt to go up and make some of this known, taking, like, say, 5 or 6 cases with me, and where you can say I've taken 6 cases with me, all from Norwich and all coming out concerning, but out of, say, 5 out of 6, it's the same judge that oversaw it and the same GAL that was appointed.
Right.
You know there's something wrong.
Well,
You know?
it festers with incompetency up there. It festers with people who
Or
don't seem
something.
to know. Well, they don't seem to know rights. Clearly,
Or don't
clearly,
care for
well,
some reason.
that they have got away with so long in thinking that they are the only rights in the world. See,
Yes.
when you get into a state
Yeah.
court, state court thinks, well, we're the state, and all the rights come through us. Well, that is not necessarily the case. That's why we have federal courts, and that's why. But as long as people continue to take things through state court, it's never going above. It stays right there in the
Does.
state court, and they protect each other. There's no question about it.
That's the problem, is sometimes
And
getting out of state court,
you
because I've
need-
tried a few times and
you
it's
need to
very
get
hard
out.
to get.
You-
It's very
well,
hard.
you
I've,
need to
well,
get
I've
out.
learned now different ways to get out, but it takes a long time and a lot of research to figure out how to
well,
get
you
out.
you have to, number one, you have to go through all the avenues in state court until they bounce you around.
right.
So you go through, and then finally, then you make your move into federal court, and then there you start again another
Yes.
process through the court system. And however, my own belief is that in our area, that we have a good federal court. For districts, our federal district courts, our courts are, I believe, are very, very good. And I believe here on the West Coast, and I believe in California.
I agree
that
with
they're
you
forward,
there. They
they're
are.
forward-thinking courts, and you know, obviously I have problems with everything, but we have issues and opinions. But I believe, and I've done mostly stuff in federal court because being an ex-prisoner at one time,
Yeah.
and an ex-convict, you end up in federal court with most of your stuff, and I happen to believe the federal court is the place to be, because of the protectionism in the state areas
Yes.
of judges and who you know, and all those things play, politics, are all part of the state system that is.
No, they're a little more careful of what the rules and regulations are, and what the constitutional rules are and civil rules are. It's just every now and then you find one of those local courts that just seem to think they're their own entity.
Well, I've never seen anything like the Norwich situation.